Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. Additionally, consider subscribing to my Patreon to get access to these features, and much more. In the idyllic town of Willow Creek, where the streets were lined with blossoming cherry trees and the air carried whispers of secrets long kept, resided the Thompson family. Among them was Alex, a young man on the cusp of adulthood, whose world was about to be turned upside down by a single moment of unexpected revelation. Alex Thompson was not your typical teenager. Behind his quiet demeanor and unassuming appearance lay a profound secret that he guarded with the utmost care. It wasn't that he didn't trust his family, rather, it was the fear of their judgment that kept him bound in silence. You see, Alex found solace in the art of crossdressing. It wasn't about rebellion or a desire to defy societal norms. For him, slipping into the soft embrace of his sister's clothes was a form of self-expression, a way to explore facets of his identity that he dared not reveal to the world. In the privacy of his room, with the door securely locked and the world shut out, Alex would immerse himself in a world of chiffon and lace. He would admire the elegant contours of the dresses hanging in his sister's closet, their vibrant colors beckoning him like a siren's song. But as careful as Alex was, fate had a way of intervening when least expected. It was a balmy Saturday afternoon when the tranquility of his clandestine ritual was shattered by an unforeseen intrusion, the sound of footsteps echoing down the hallway, drawing ominously closer to his sanctuary. Heart pounding in his chest, Alex froze, his mind racing to concoct a plausible excuse should his secret be discovered. But as the door swung open and the figure of his father loomed in the doorway, all thoughts of evasion evaporated like mist in the morning sun. For a long moment, father and son stood locked in a silent tableau, the air heavy with unspoken words and unvoiced fears. Alex braced himself for the inevitable torrent of questions, the accusations that would surely follow this damning revelation. But to his astonishment, his father's expression softened, his eyes betraying a depth of understanding that Alex had never before witnessed. There was no anger, no judgment, only a profound sense of acceptance that washed over them like a healing balm. In that moment, Alex realized that his father saw beyond the fabric and frills, beyond the superficial trappings of gender and identity. He saw his son, vulnerable yet resilient, grappling with the complexities of self-discovery in a world that often demanded conformity. And as they stood there, bathed in the golden light of understanding, father and son forged a bond that transcended the confines of convention. It was a moment of reckoning, a turning point in their relationship that would shape the course of Alex's journey towards self-acceptance and empowerment. For in the quiet intimacy of that shared revelation, Alex learned that sometimes, the greatest strength lies in embracing our vulnerabilities, in daring to defy the expectations of others and charting our own path towards authenticity and fulfillment. And amidst the echoes of uncertainty, a new chapter began to unfold, promising hope and possibility amidst the shadows of doubt. In the aftermath of that pivotal moment, a delicate tension lingered in the air between father and son, a silent acknowledgement of the truths left unspoken. While Alex found solace in his father's acceptance, he couldn't shake the gnawing sense of disappointment that clouded his father's eyes. It was a disappointment born not from rejection but from the realization that Alex had chosen secrecy over trust, that he had hidden behind a veil of deception rather than embracing the truth. And as the days turned into weeks, that unspoken disappointment weighed heavily on Alex's conscience, a constant reminder of the rift that had formed between them. Try as he might, Alex couldn't shake the guilt that gnawed at his insides, the knowledge that he had betrayed his father's trust and compromised the very foundation of their relationship. He longed to bridge the chasm that separated them, to rebuild the bonds of trust and understanding that had been fractured by his own deceit. But the words eluded him, trapped beneath the weight of his own insecurities and fears. How could he explain the inexplicable, justify the unjustifiable? How could he make his father understand the turmoil that had consumed him, the desperate need to hide his true self from a world that often seemed so unforgiving? As the days stretched into months, the silence between them grew more palpable, a yawning chasm that threatened to swallow them whole. And yet, amidst the echoes of their unspoken truths, a glimmer of hope flickered on the horizon, a beacon of redemption beckoning them towards reconciliation. It came in the form of a quiet afternoon, the sun casting long shadows across the Thompson household as father and son found themselves alone once more. In the hushed intimacy of that moment, Alex mustered the courage to break the silence, to confront the demons that had long haunted him. With trembling hands and a voice thick with emotion, he bared his soul to his father, laying bare the fears and insecurities that had driven him to conceal his true self. He spoke of the torment of living a double life, of the relentless pressure to conform to society's expectations at the expense of his own happiness. And as he spoke, a transformation swept over his father's features, his expression softening with empathy and understanding. Gone was the disappointment that had once clouded his eyes, replaced instead by a profound sense of compassion and acceptance. In that moment, father and son found redemption in each other's embrace, their shared vulnerability forging a bond stronger than steel. And amidst the echoes of their unspoken truths, a new chapter began to unfold, promising healing and reconciliation amidst the wreckage of the past. For in the quiet intimacy of that shared revelation, Alex and his father discovered that true strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in the courage to confront it head-on. And as they embarked on their journey towards reconciliation, they knew that no obstacle could ever stand in their way as long as they faced it together, united in love and understanding. As the dust settled on their heart-to-heart conversation, a newfound sense of understanding blossomed between Alex and his father. Yet, despite the reconciliation, a lingering shadow of disappointment lingered in the air, a reminder of the breach of trust that had strained their relationship. Determined to mend what had been broken, Alex sought to prove his sincerity through actions rather than words. He yearned to rebuild the trust he had so recklessly shattered, to demonstrate his commitment to honesty and authenticity in all aspects of his life. It was against this backdrop of reconciliation that his father proposed a solution, a penance, of sorts, to atone for the deception that had marred their bond. With a heavy heart and a sense of resignation, Alex listened as his father outlined the terms of his punishment. For 1 week, Alex would assume responsibility for all the household chores, from cooking and cleaning to laundry and gardening. But there was a twist: he would perform these tasks dressed in the same feminine attire that had sparked their initial confrontation. At first, Alex balked at the suggestion, his pride wounded by the prospect of public humiliation. But as he looked into his father's eyes, he saw not cruelty but compassion, a father's desperate attempt to bridge the gap that had formed between them. With a heavy sigh and a reluctant nod, Alex accepted his fate, steeling himself for the challenges that lay ahead. And so, the following morning dawned with a sense of trepidation, as Alex donned the delicate garments of his sister's wardrobe and set about his chores with a determination born of necessity. It was a surreal experience, to say the least, scrubbing dishes in a floral sundress, tending to the garden in a pair of heels, and folding laundry with delicate precision. Every task was a reminder of the price of his deception, a penance paid in sweat and tears. But amidst the discomfort and embarrassment, a strange sense of liberation began to take hold. With each passing day, Alex shed the shackles of shame and self-doubt, embracing his femininity with a newfound sense of pride and defiance. And as the week drew to a close, a subtle shift occurred within the Thompson household. What had begun as a punishment had blossomed into a journey of self-discovery, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. On the final day of his penance, as Alex stood before his father, clad in the same dress that had sparked their confrontation, he knew that he had emerged from the ordeal stronger and wiser than before. And as his father enveloped him in a tight embrace, a silent acknowledgement passed between them that sometimes, the greatest lessons are learned not in moments of triumph, but in moments of humility and grace.